Alright. So right, here. Something bit me. Something bit me. Something bit me. That should be the tagline of this film. Called Devil. Before I really fully get into this whole thing of Devil, remember www.talkbackworld.net, talksmackworld, www.talkbackworld.net if you want to, go in there, get in there to talk more about this film and other things because it's the best forum out there. Alright, I just want to backtrack on this a little bit now. Basically, when I saw that this was a film called The Devil, no subtlety there, and this was obviously subtlety will be a main theme of this review here. But yeah, Devil. When I saw that, I was like, and I said, okay, this is now from the Night Chronicles, M Night, from the mind of M Night. I was like, no. That's why when I saw it, I was like, no, I'm not going to watch a film from the mind of the guy who brought me Last Airbender. No. So then I was thinking, like, okay, no, blah, blah. Even if he's not actually directing, I was like, no, I was not going to do it. But then, like, as time approached and everything, and then it just said, okay, Devil is no longer released on Friday. I was thinking that, what's my reason not to watch this film? That's the thing there. It's like, yes, M. Night is an idiot. Yes, he's racist against his own people. Yes, his arrogance. Yes, he's stuck up his own a-hole. Yes, he's all of these things. But in a world of remakes, in a world of basically taking every single comic book thing and completely destroying it, doing some crap like Daredevil and all these kind of rubbish comic book movie films, where there are no more original ideas out there, where people are just stealing ideas now and are getting credited for stealing ideas. You think that, surely you ought to be given money to original ideas. And that's the thing about M. Night is that, yes, people say, okay, he's in decline and everything like that, but at least he is putting himself out there. Yes, the stuff he's doing out there may be bad, but he's putting himself out there with his original ideas. The village happening, all that kind of stuff. So maybe they may be bad, but at least they are original ideas. And for me, I just thought, I have no reason not to see this. I have no reason not to see this. So I was like, yeah, man. I am going to watch this film. And I'm going to pay to watch this film, not on bootleg, because this is an original idea that has been put out there. And this is what cinema is about. It's about guys thinking up original stories from their head and putting it out there to be critiqued. And I think that, that is what it's about. I viewed Devil basically, and obviously I want to keep this non-spoilery because the reason why I want to keep this non-spoilery is because I want to really get people out there to really watch this film. Because I feel that, we're living in a dark age of film now where things are really bad now. And things that, I walked out of Devil actually feeling satisfied. Basically the feeling I had out of walking out of Devil was the same feeling I had walking out of Daybreakers. The films are not great. They won't change anything. It's not like you should rush out to watch that. Oh, it's an amazing film. But the films are entertaining, they're solid with interesting ideas, and they're trying to put something out that is original. They are, so basically they're representing what I feel cinema is about, of what's that we've now lost with all these rubbish remakes and, remaking Commando, remaking Total Recall and all this rubbish. It's good that, people made for 10 mil, just putting themselves out there as like a regular film, but I think really, now trying to go into this film, basically, just want to put the context out there. I think a lot of guys already know is like basically, it's how many? It's that guy. It's one. Basically, it's like a guard, a woman who just seems a bit odd, just some like regular white guy, an old lady, and like a guy who's selling basically mattresses. Basically, five folks basically are all in this clip, and again, he's the detective who's basically in investigating these things, and and yeah, like he's investigating this weird thing, like this guy dropped in the van, but it's quite weird because there's no glass there, and with the way he fell, it just seems that somebody cannot really fall with that amount of force based on the height that he dropped off from. So he's investigating that, but then he now gets a call that something is happening in this lift with these 5 people that is near the crime scene he's looking at. So he decides to take this call, and the detective now starts seeing some strange things happening. Basically, there's stuff that's just happening to these 5 people, and there is a Latino guard in there who believes that the devil is at work here, basically messing up with these 5 people's lives, and they will now learn what these 5 people have done basically, and they're now trying to pick out who may be the devil amongst these 5 folks. So that's the basic premise, and the film, the story, the idea was a cool idea. It was, I like ideas which keep things small, but you really use those things on those your limited locations. I really like those things like that, So most of it was pretty much kept within the lifts. That was really the bulk of it. It was really in the lifts, in the control room of the guards, looking in at the lifts. So there was some very interesting dynamics between, obviously, the people in the lift can't really talk to the guards, but the guards can talk and see the people in the lift. So they were trying to communicate with those drawbacks and those limitations, which created a very nice, very nice bits of tension here and there, and just the way that things slowly built up. And I was never bored. I was always fully in and fully tense, and I was like, man, what's gonna happen, And I think really just it was. You see, the good thing about this film was that it was well handled. It didn't fall into because especially in the modern day and age of where things are just so overdone, it didn't fall into over exaggeration. It didn't fall into stupidness. It didn't fall into just cheap thrills. It didn't fall into that kind of immature stupidity. It's kept very balanced and very steady. So there was a consistency within its tone throughout the whole film. Which was good. Hence why I was always kept within it. I was never really drawn out. But I think really the weakness of this film, and I think people agree for those listeners, is that I think the first weakness, and again I go back to the word I said, which is subtlety. You can't name your film Devil. That's not my first. You can't name your film Devil. Okay, if you're going to name your film Devil, it's got to be a lot more philosophical. It's got to be a lot more grander. It's got to be a lot more, like really where really you're really talking about, the devil in a much more grander sense. So it doesn't really lend itself to this kind of film, which is about, who done it, who is there, blah, 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 Because I think that really this film would have been benefited if it had just been given, just a different title, Elevator or Yo, we're in the lifts or something like that, And if it was given that